The X Zone Radio Show with Rob McConnell is largely an opinion talk show. All opinions, comments, or statements of fact expressed by Rob McConnell's guests are strictly their own and are not to be construed as those of the X Zone Radio Show or endorsed in any manner by Rob McConnell, Relmar McConnell Media Company, the X Zone Broadcast Network, its affiliated networks, stations, employees, or advertisers.
All Hit Radio.
Welcome to the X Zone, a place where fact is fiction and fiction is reality. Now, here's your host, Rob McConnell.
And welcome back to the X Zone, everyone. My name is Rob McConnell. My guest this hour is the one and only Elizabeth Joyce. Her website is www.new-visions.com. And today is Election Day in the United States, as we've been saying all day or all evening here on the X Zone. It's going to go late into the night, no two ways about it. And Elizabeth, what can you tell our listeners that we don't know about what's going to be happening throughout this election?
Well, I think there's going to be two surprises on Election Day today. The first surprise is how many voters are out, and that there might be some upset at the polls due to the electricity problem that we've had on the East Coast and also some things in Florida. I think that there's going to be some tampering or something wrong with the machines in South Florida. But we're not going to know who the president is tonight. There will be a recount. I didn't only see a recount in Ohio. I also see a possibility of a recount in Virginia. And I don't think we're going to know for weeks. I picked the day December 12th. Psychically, I picked the day December 12th. And then I did something with astrology. Mercury retrogrades today, which, of course, is going to cause the recount. And the rule of astrology is that you go to the degree where it retrogrades, and you go back to see when it goes back to that degree after it goes forward, and the date is December 12th. So I got it psychically first, and then I got it verified by the astrology. So I do think there's going to be some hair pulling.
Now, this is a very busy time of the year for you, because not only are you doing the predictions for many of the media on the election itself, but you're also deeply involved in taking a look into what 2013 has in store. But in between the election today and 2013, about a month and nearly 2 months away, we still have that date of December the 21st, 2012. Any insight into that date?
Yeah, of course. The storm that we had on the East Coast, Hurricane Sandy, was not the only thing that was happening, Rob. On your show in August, I predicted that we would have upsets with the weather, and I told you that there was going to be a storm on both coasts simultaneously. And indeed there was. There were two earthquakes, one in Canada, one in California, a tsunami in Hawaii, and it went over to Thailand and China, and they lost 130,000 people at the same time that Sandy was coming in to the East Coast. And that, to me, was part of the 2012. Now, in a sense, I call that weather balancing, but, because the weather does come in and it does cause destruction, and then there's restruction after destruction, and that was amazing that they were both happening at the same time. I know we only heard about Sandy, but I was reading about both.
Now, when we're talking about December the 21st, 2012, are we talking about a rebirth in consciousness, a rebirth in spirituality, or are we talking about the end of the world as we know it?
Well, we're talking about a rebirth in spirituality. Actually, I do think that we have a total change in consciousness. As you look at the elderly, Rob, and you go down to the people that are 40 and 30, and then you go down to the 18-year-olds and then the younger children, you can see a huge difference in their belief systems. Even because they want to keep the elderly from voting because they think differently than the younger ones. And we are growing spiritually. We are growing more towards helping and healing each other. We are growing more, I want to say, unselfish and becoming aware that as we support others, we also get supported. And that's important. I certainly would like to see the world come together in peace. I think we're on our way to it. I do think we have a ways to go, of course.
I agree with you, my dear friend. Please stand by. You and I have to take our first commercial break. We'll be back in 2 minutes. Elizabeth Joyce is my special guest this hour, X-Zone Nation. Now, if you'd like a one-on-one consultation with Elizabeth, you can visit her website at www.new-visions.com, or you can call for an appointment at 201-934-8986. That's 201-934-8986. This is the X-Zone. My name is Rob McConnell. This is Election Day in the United States. Now, I am not a psychic, but I'm predicting a win for President Obama. We'll be back. Don't go away.
Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi, you can still listen to the X-Zone radio show with Rob McConnell, The Science of Magic with Gwilda Wiyaka, X-1, Dimension X, Space Patrol, and every minute of the X-Zone broadcast network by calling 213-401-0080, courtesy of Audio Now. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan, and it's free if you have unlimited minutes. Call 213-401-0080 to listen on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Remember, 213-401-0080 for the best of the paranormal, parapsychology, and sci-fi radio programming anywhere, 24/7, 365. Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies.
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows.
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
Hello, I'm Justina Marsh, and with my dad Pete, we are going to present a new show called Too Good to Be True. Together, we are aiming to discover more truths about this world and beyond. Do you have unanswered questions about the world? Do you ever wonder about aliens, conspiracy theories, or the universe? There are many shows discussing subjects such as pyramids or UFOs, but we want to relay this information based on our own research, including from spiritual means. Hopefully, listeners will be helped with their own beliefs and will appreciate the psychic insights that add to the previous research and information. We both look forward to sharing this insight and beginning this journey with our listeners. Visit xzbn.net for more information about when to listen.
And Elizabeth Joyce is our guest this hour on the X-Zone. It's Election Day in the United States. And if you would like to contact Elizabeth for a one-on-one consultation, her website is www.new-visions.com. That's new-visions.com. And her telephone number during regular business hours, X-Zone Nation, not this late hour at night, 201-934-8986. That's 201-934-8986. Elizabeth, you were talking to me during the commercial break about some voter tampering or voter fraud that has been caught in Miami, and this is something that you predicted would happen.
I did. I predicted that there might be some tampering with the machines. People were pre-voting, voting early, and they took a picture of their ballot. Mm-hmm. And supposedly, when when you go into the booth after you've taken a picture of your ballot, it'll come up on the screen for you. And it came up opposite what they had voted. These people had voted for Romney, and they went in and were told by the machine that they had voted for Obama, and there was some confusion, and they had to look into it.
Well,
that was on the news late last night.
Well, we also know as of around 2 o'clock this afternoon that there had been over 700 absentee ballots that were discarded in Florida because people forgot to sign them.
Well, that can be debated, can't it?
Well, I'm sure both parties are going to have their officials go over each and every one of those ballots that was discarded. But we also are looking at the state of New York and the state of New Jersey, where, Hurricane Sandy or Superstorm Sandy has certainly caused so much damage over there, and yet both Governor Christie and Governor Cuomo are doing their very best to make sure everyone has the ability to vote.
Well, what they've done in my district up in Mahwah, New Jersey, is they have got a shuttle bus, and they're taking people over to the college, which has a generator, and they put the voting booths there so that the people can vote.
Which is really great.
Set it up, and they're doing that in other areas where they've selected a big hall, maybe a YMCA or a college, and they put in generators and the voting machines, and they're busing the people.
I was watching the news. I guess I'm considered as a news junkie because, I like to know what's going on. If it's other television, fine, it's got my attention for about 30 seconds, and then I go back to the news. But to watch the people in New Jersey and the New Yorkers helping each other out, it was great to see this happen. And it's funny, maybe it's fate, Elizabeth, that this hurricane happened in order to allow the American citizens to see the commander-in-chief in action because, God, he shot himself in both feet during the first debate.
Well, in my town, we had all the churches come together, and they went to Ramapo College, and they fed 300 people an hour. They created a warming room in the gym where you could go and take showers and bathe your children, and they really, really helped. They couldn't get the lights back on any faster than possible. In fact, Mahwah has a New York State Rockland Electric instead of public service, so it was a little slower than the others. My lights were out in my other property for about a week, a little longer than a week.
How did the storm affect you personally? What was it like where you were living as Storm Sandy wreaked havoc?
I was down in Pennsylvania, and I was very lucky. I was on the south side of the storm. So the storm hit Cape May, which is ahead of me by about 60 miles. So we got the back end of it, which was easier. We did lose our lights, and we were out for 4 days. But New Jersey, they had houses taken right off of their foundations.
And
we lost our roof, and we lost half of a tree.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but that's okay. That's okay. We were very lucky compared to some of these people. The people on Staten Island were sitting on the roof waiting for help for 3 days. There was water in the subways, Rob, all the way up to 22nd Street in New York. They closed the Lincoln and Holland tunnels because they filled with water. Never happened before.
I heard from a friend of mine who's highly ranked in Homeland Security that they pay very close attention to terrorism during the storms because this is when they believe that terrorists would actually try to take advantage of the situation.
That's absolutely true. In fact, in New York City, they wouldn't let people from outside of the city come in and help because they weren't in the union, and of course you're vetted. You had to be vetted. They wouldn't let them into the city. I know it's sad to turn away the guys that came from Mississippi and Chicago and wherever. They were used in New Jersey and they were used in other areas, but not in New York City for that reason.
There's another storm on its way, another northeaster.
Yes. But I did just hear that it may be going out to sea further than they think. So
that would be super. But what happens if it, in fact, follows the same track as Hurricane or Superstorm Sandy?
I'm going to tell you that it's unlikely that it will, and that has to do with science more than anything else. But I do feel that we could get some snow, and there could be more problems. However, we know more now. We've been refreshed. We're just going to have to go through it again.
Yeah, speaking about snow.
We're getting different supplies. We're cooking ahead of time. We're doing all our laundry early. We're filling our car with gas, making sure we have batteries, getting ready for it.
Speaking about gas, were there massive gas lines where you are compared to those that we saw from New Jersey and New York?
No, we did okay. We did okay. We had some gas lines. 2 towns over, there was electricity, and on one of the main highways, which is about 3 miles away, we could go and get gas. But we didn't have any post offices, and the post office was telling us that they were going to be very slow, even if you couldn't do 2-day mail or overnight. It couldn't be done where we were. So that was a new experience.
Well, the post offices, it seems like the post office is gearing down because the internet is taking so much business away from them. I believe in certain states, the Postal Service is down to 4 days a week now.
But the other one, Federal Express and UPS, couldn't go either because of the airplanes and of the electric being down. 2 airports were underwater. Teterboro Airport and LaGuardia were puddles.
Yeah, that's right.
It was only one airport open.
And
it wasn't Newark, it was Kennedy, right?
That was a reality check, I believe, for everyone, that not only...
Yes, it was, especially LaGuardia.
Exactly. Like, for example, everybody is talking about Homeland Security and terrorism and the threats to the free countries and the free nations, and yet here comes Mother Nature. You can't stop her. And she just said, this is what power's all about.
Well, I remember, Rob, a few years ago when Montreal was shut down for 3 weeks because of an ice storm.
That's right.
And I remember those people not being able to get food.
Yeah. Yeah, and my mom and dad were part of that, and it was quite concerning, but thank the good Lord, everything worked out.
Yes, and I'm going to say that the people have been very cooperative. Even online, when you pay your bills online, they write you a note and say they're giving you an extra week. And
oh, wow.
Everybody has pulled together, so it is good. I wanted to discuss with you the interesting research that I did with astrology and the presidential race.
Please.
I looked at both Mitt Romney and Barack Obama with their birth dates and their numbers, and who I thought astrologically would win. And it came out to be Mitt Romney. And the reason was because he's going into a 3-year, and that's the year of more public, more communication, traveling more, being out with the people more. Whereas Barack Obama's going into a 9-year. When you go into a 9-year, that's the year of loss. And that's the year of putting things behind you. It's the year of losing friends, and it's the year of a possible relocation, and it is a year where you can lose a job and have to restart again in your 1 year. This is all a process, and I thought it was very, very interesting to look at it that way.
And
then you look at free will, and free will is the people saying, what is right for me? What do I want? But free will, then you'd have to look at the birth of the United States, not of the two men. You'd have to look at the birth of the United States to see which one would be best.
And when you look at the birth date of the United States, which of the two presidential candidates is the best?
Well, it was very balanced, except that Barack Obama came out a little bit. If you look at the different planets, Barack Obama has a couple of stronger aspects, but it came out very close. I think that this election is going to be very close. I think there's going to be a recount that takes time, and I think that the person is going to win by 1,000 to 2,000 votes.
Wow. Well, we've gotten a glimpse at how close this election is going to be. The first poll that did a count was in New Hampshire, Dixville Notch, and it was 5 votes for President Obama, 5 votes for Governor Romney. The first time that this has ever happened.
It's never well, they had on there who had won the electoral over the popular vote, and of course Bush won the electoral over the Gore popular vote.
Yeah.
And it's only happened 3 times in history.
It's good.
And they were close together. So the other two were in the 1800s. One was Grover Cleveland race, and another one, and then the Gore Bush one. So this is probably going to be another one.
It's going to be a very interesting night, and wow. Hypothetically,
yes,
Romney gets in. What kind of president do you see him being? I'm asking you as a psychic, not as a person.
Okay, Mitt Romney is a person that is a good leader, but he also likes to stay in the background. I don't think he likes the public eye the way that Obama loves the public eye. He's a Leo. And I think that it's going to be tough. I still feel Congress will be split. One will be Democratic, one will be Republican. And I think that some of his things are going to be tough. But I see him as a very kind person, and I see him shying away from from battle. So I want to say that he'll be bipartisan and try to work things out. I really think he will. I don't think that he's a warmonger, but that doesn't mean the Republican Party isn't. I don't think he really wants to do some of the things that the Republicans want to do. It's very hard for him sometimes, as it is for anyone, to go against what he thinks is right for what the majority might be saying to him. So he's got to be careful about who he listens to.
All right, let's take a break here. I have to do my news when we come back. Tell us astrologically what kind of leader President Obama would be going into the future. Exonation, our guest this hour, the one and only Elizabeth Joyce. Her website, www.new-visions.com. And if you'd like to call Elizabeth for a one-on-one consultation during regular business hours, 201-934-8986. That's 201-934-8986. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X-Zone.
This is the X-Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X-Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies,
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows,
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Election Day in the United States. Americans throughout the U.S. and into the Hawaiian Islands. And, everybody is going to the polls to pick the next president of the United States of America. And as the neighbors to the U.S., we Canadians are very interested in what is going on. And there was a poll that was put out, I believe, by the CBC that 6 out of every 7 Canadians asked want to see President Obama reelected. As one person said, well, it's better to know the devil. It's better that you know the devil that you know than the devil that you don't know. So I don't know about that. But somebody who does know a lot about what's going on in the world today is my guest this hour, Elizabeth Joyce, www.new-visions.com. And all right, we talked about Governor Romney, if he is successful and gets himself elected today or over the next weeks and months to come. What about the incumbent president, President Obama?
Well, I think that he's going to continue with his plans of trying to rebuild the economy. I think my main concern with Obama is overseas, because there are some policies over there that I don't particularly like. So I'm very, very worried about some of the directions that he'll take us, and I am worried about Obamacare. Some of it is good, some of it is not good. Some of it is very bad. And as a matter of fact, doctors are going to retire because of what Obamacare is asking. So there's concerns. I'd like to see some changes made with some of the way that he thinks. But psychically, I think that he is going to try to stay in longer than 4 more years. I don't think he plans on leaving the presidency until about 2020. And I don't know how he's going to do it. But I do see that he wants to stay into power. Now, he is a double Leo, and Leos love power. So I do see that there's going to be a possible change in the Constitution or martial law, because that's the only way that he can stay in.
What are some of your other predictions for 2013?
I see that there's going to be more of a problem with our money and the value of our money. I do see housing falling. I see a problem with the bond market on the stock exchange as our next problem. We've had problems with banks. We've had problems with savings and loans. Now we're going to have problems with bonds. And the reason that we are is because a lot of responsibility is going to be taken from the government and possibly thrown back onto the states. And a lot of the states are going broke, like California, and they're having problems raising money. So there's going to be upsets, and it's not going to be easy to complete coming out of this devastation that we've had. And my question to everybody is, where has all the money gone? Long time passing, where has all the money gone? Not flowers, but money. Because the money has gone somewhere, and it has not come back to the people.
Well, my question is, Governor Romney, where are you going to get all these billions of dollars from that you're saying that you're going to put into the economy?
Well, unfortunately, the Republicans have a theory that the rich people have to help the poor people by having them go to work, not by helping them with aid, but by having them go to work. But there are so many people that cannot. There's the people that are injured, there's the elderly, and there are people that are mentally disturbed. Of course, we don't have any more mental institutions. What is going to happen to these people? Do they not deserve to be cared for too?
Of course they do.
So it'll be fun to watch that and see what happens.
You've got a new book out.
I've got a new book that I'm writing.
Oh,
How
you're
did
writing?
You know? You must be psychic.
Yes, they call me the Great Karnak.
I decided that I was going to write about some of my life experiences.
Wow.
Because they have been so powerful, Rob, and I have seen miracles both in healing work and in helping others. And so I'm writing a book called Unlimited Realities. I really believe that as you think is what you experience, and sometimes when people wrong us or hurt us, we have to look at our part in it. I believe the way that Louise Hay teaches, that it's 50-50 in any relationship. And you can really grow with your spirit and your soul if you act out of that knowledge. It's like the new consciousness in a way, that we realize that everything that happens to us we're really responsible for, and if we take responsibility, we can make it very positive, very loving, and very upbeat. That's the focus of the book, based on my own personal experiences.
Looking over the years that you've been doing what you do, Elizabeth, and the people that you've helped, what do you consider to be the highlight of your career so far?
The highlight of my career is always service to others. Always. Any time. If I can help put a smile on another human being's face, help them get themselves together after maybe some kind of a loss, help them through the death of a child, through the loss of a parent, help them practically or in any other way find a job, work out their finances, and get their life back on track, then I am happy. I think that my gift has been wonderful for me personally, but it's been invaluable to me because of the way that I have tried to help other people.
You know, you and I over the years have also talked about the fourth dimension reality, and are we getting closer to that?
The fifth dimension reality,
I'm
actually.
sorry, the fifth, yeah.
The fourth dimension reality is the dimension of we're serving others. There's more than just me on the planet. I have to look at the oneness of everybody, and everything I do affects everybody else. That's fourth dimension. The fifth dimension is even higher than that. I think we're coming into the fifth dimension, and that's where we're going to become more telepathic. We're going to become more harmonious. We're going to realize why people do things the way they do so that we cannot judge them. It's the removal of judgment. and the beginning of working things through. It's like a hidden journey. Something inside of you moves when you have a spiritual experience, or when somebody talks to you in a certain way. There could be a bad habit that you have that you decide to get rid of because it isn't serving you and it isn't helping others. All of this is inner growth, and inner growth is the fifth dimension.
Do you see more harmony next year? People being more tolerant of each other? Because as it is now...
I see a tough year next year, Rob.
Really?
2013 is a tough year. And I think that it's a tough year because there's going to be apparent more loss, but that doesn't mean that it is loss. Things are changing. Corporations are changing. The value system is changing. For example, the drug companies are going to have some problems this next year. And we may have some problems with the air that we breathe next year. And I feel that we're also going to have more problems with electricity and with gas and oil. So this is what I'm saying. These are practical things. When it comes to going within and helping others, I think that's going to grow. I think healthcare is going to grow. I think that spontaneous energy healing is going to be found more valid. I think that we are going to embrace others and start caring more about them, especially people that think differently from the way we are and have totally different cultures. Just because they do doesn't make them wrong.
That's
you know
true.
What I'm saying?
I certainly do, because many times it's just a lack of understanding that causes the conflicts that we see. The lack of respect,
I love my story of the two women that get invited out. The Queen of England invites the Queen of Africa to come and join her at the opera, and they dress up for the affair. And the Queen of England wears her black dress with her beautiful pearls, and the Queen of Africa wears no top, totally nude, a beautiful skirt that rings as she walks, and jewelry. And that was her way of dressing up.
Well,
so she's totally nude on top except for her jewelry. And, this is just so different. It's comical because it isn't anything that can be judged, and people will go, oh, how can she dress like that? How could she be allowed in? That's her. That's who she is.
Well, we certainly know who Prince Philip was looking at that night.
We certainly do.
And Charles, can you just imagine Camilla giving him so much hell? Ha! Let me tell you.
I'd like to see her dressed that way. I think it would be a riot. But anyway.
How about the Middle East? We've seen a lot of civil unrest in the Middle East just over the last year. Let's see. We've had Egypt. We've had Libya. We have had Syria. And the list goes on and on and on. And then we've got the tension between Israel and Iran and the United States. We've got a shift of government and power in China that's also going to affect our foreign trade.
China's going to fall. I see China falling. I see China losing its money. And I don't think it's necessarily a political thing, Rob. I see a disease, a flash disease like the one they had, the bird flu. I see something else taking lives. They have such poor, they don't have any, filter for their water. They just don't have any way of cleaning anything up, and it's going to spread disease. So I see something very serious happening over there. I see India becoming stronger. I don't like what I see in the Mideast. I do think that there is going to be more war and more terrorism, but that's been going on for 2,000 years. I'd like to see it start to get better. We're going to have a woman president after this next one. We're going to have a woman president, and whoever she is, she's going to do more to make peace than these two have. And that I can say. So there's a hopeful little...
Well, you and I have often talked about Hillary.
Yes.
Yeah.
It could be her. I'm not sure that it will be, because I can't put words into the mouth of spirit. I just know there is going to be a woman coming in, and that this president, whoever is elected today, will be a one-term president. Just like I had said Obama would be a one-term president. Now, that's astrology, of course.
Yeah.
Because Mercury retrogrades today, that makes it a one-term president.
I'm just sitting here thinking about who might Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House. No, I can't see that happening. I certainly can't see Condoleezza Rice coming back.
No way. That won't happen.
Geez, the only person that I really see politically as an observer would be Hillary.
Me too.
Yeah.
But we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen in the next 4 years. I feel Hillary, but I didn't want to say it, that that's going to happen. I will say I sense that could be who it is. That's about as far as I'll go with it.
Right.
I sense that could be who it is, but I've seen so many magical things happen when it comes to spirit and how spirit can change things. You get told one thing and then you don't believe it, and then it happens. It's amazing.
Let me ask you this. You're telling us, you told us that based on astrology, Governor Romney should win the election. But what happens? What happens in the entire chain of events, when or if President Obama retains the presidency? How does that affect the spirit world and the astrological world, and what's the ripple effect like for everyone else?
Well, look, I looked at it in a certain way. I used their birth date. I didn't look at it compared to the United States, as I explained to you before. And it proves that free will overrides anything else. You could be told that you have a terminal disease, and free will can get rid of it. So it has to do with the hearts of the people. There's so many different variables. Each state has its own chart. But Romney has the 3-year and the more positive, forward-looking than Obama does. And if Obama does go in, he's going to have more trouble than he's had in the past with the other side rebuffing him.
I don't know. Like I've said this many times watching Governor Romney, he looks like a puppet. One of these puppets that are held by ventriloquists.
Well, I think that you're saying that because he's shy, and as I said before, he's not used to the public eye the way that he has. When you're running for president, you really have no clue what all is involved until you begin the process.
Exactly. Just because he ran, just because he was the governor of a state, just because he was involved in some businesses, I don't understand why any reporter hasn't asked the pivotal question, what makes you think you can run a country? Big difference. Stand by, Elizabeth.
I did ask him that.
Stand by, Elizabeth. You and I have to take our commercial break. We'll be back on the other side. Elizabeth Joyce is our special guest this hour, Exonation. It's election night in the U.S. Elizabeth's website is www.new-visions.com. And you can contact Elizabeth for a one-on-one consultation at 201-934-8986. That's 201-934-8986. My name is Rob McConnell. This is the X Zone. Elizabeth Joyce and I will be back on the other side of this commercial break. Don't go away. Oh, well, that is, unless you're going out to vote.
This is the X Zone Broadcast Network, broadcasting worldwide on broadcast affiliates and satellite program providers, including CNN Broadcast Network, Sirius Satellite Network, Star Media, Good News Radio Network, Angel Broadcast Network, Wiki Broadcast Network, and WPBN TV. For more information on the X Zone Broadcast Network, visit us at www.xzbn.net.
Hello, I'm Pete Marsh. With my daughter Justina, we will be presenting the new radio show, Too Good to Be True. If something seems too good to be true, it usually is. But with the help of Justina's amazing gifts, we're going to gain insight into questions that don't yet have complete answers. Have you wondered who built Stonehenge and for what reason? Why are crop circles found in the same region as Stonehenge and elsewhere? Are crop circles a hoax, or are they created with technologies that we have little knowledge of? Who built the pyramids in Egypt and also in other countries? How and why were they built? Was the Titanic switched with the Britannic as part of a gigantic insurance fraud, or for more insidious reasons? What caused the Tunguska event when trees were flattened over an 800 square mile area in Siberia? Will the new insights be too good to be true? Well, that will depend on what you are prepared to believe. Please join us as we start on this journey together. For more information on Too Good to Be True, Visit www.xzbn.net.
Hi everyone, Rob McConnell here, and I wanted to spend a moment on internet streaming. Everybody has heard about internet streaming, but not many know much about it. Did you know the internet streams just about everything?
Movies,
From new releases to old classics.
TV shows,
Almost every show, every episode, and much more. But the question has always been, how do you do it? Well now, thanks to the folks at 123 Ready TV, I have the answer for you. They have developed a simple program app, 123 Ready TV, that you install on your Windows PC, Android smartphone, or Android tablet that can have you streaming like a pro in less than 5 minutes. You truly won't believe how much is available or how easy it is to do until you try. And for a one-time cost of only $19.99, this product is a real winner. To learn more about 123 Ready TV, visit our website at www.xzbn.net.
Elizabeth Joyce is my guest this hour on the X Zone. It's election night here in the, well, not here, but in the United States. So it's going to be an interesting night, Elizabeth. First of all, I want to thank you so much for joining us. It's always great talking to you. And X Zone Nation, as I've been saying throughout the hour, if you'd like to contact Elizabeth for a one-on-one consultation, her website is www.new-visions.com. Or you can give her a call at area code 201-934-8986. Now, that's during regular business hours, guys. At area code 201-934-8986. Elizabeth, what would you like to leave the X Zone Nation with tonight?
Well, I think that we need to know that as we go into this new energy on 12/21, that we got to go to the heart, and that whoever does win the election in the United States or anywhere really has to work together with others so that we can do the right thing, live in harmony, and yet live our different lives the way we choose. As long as we can honor that, then we can work together and we can have world peace. So let's just hope for world peace no matter who takes the reins.
Very well said, my dear. Now, your new book is coming out when?
I think I'll have it ready by the fall.
Wow. What's the hardest part about you being an author? Do you ever suffer from a writer's block? And if so, how do you get around it?
You know, I did, especially with the last chapters of the book. I had with my Psychic Attack book as well as my Ascension book. It took me 2 weeks to write the last chapter. I don't know how I got around it. I just got very, very frustrated and said I have to have a last chapter that wraps it up, and then finally it comes. But you have to get away from it. You have to take a break. You have to go run around the block, go do something that you love to do, and then come back to it. And then it starts to flow.
And how's your organization that helps so many people doing?
The organization?
Right.
Oh, the BCMA?
Yes.
The BCMA is great. We just raised so much money for the Red Cross just before the Sandy.
My goodness.
We raised over $1,000 for the Red Cross, so that was wonderful.
Excellent.
We're doing great. Our next one is in March.
Quickly, Elizabeth, let our listeners know how they can contact you.
I do have a 24-hour answering service. It's 201-934-8986, as well as my website, www.new-visions.com. And we are going to be doing some online classes, so if anybody's interested in either learning the tarot or learning how to develop themselves more spiritually, we're doing online classes now.
Excellent. Elizabeth Joyce, always a great pleasure talking to you. Take care of yourself, my dear, and we'll speak to you very shortly.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now. X Zone Nation, once again, Elizabeth Joyce has been my guest of this hour. If you'd like to contact Elizabeth for a one-on-one private consultation, 201-934-8986. That's 201-934-8986. And her website is www.new-visions.com. I'll be back on the other side of this commercial break with the news at 6.5 minutes past the top of the hour, as the X Zone continues investigating the world of the paranormal and the science of parapsychology from our studios in Hamilton, Ontario, Canada. 1-800-610-7035 worldwide toll-free. Email xzone@xzoneradiotv.com, on MSN Messenger, xzoneradiotv@hotmail.com, and our website, www.xzoneradiotv.com.